Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. TarnationTV.com live here on a Monday night. This is Open Speedway's Monday Madness. Last Monday of every month is the championship race for said month, so welcome to June's championship race. Doubleheader tonight will be Michigan and Open Speedway, which is a retextured, modified version of Talladega. So a lot of good high-speed racing today. Of course, we are joined this evening, well, I am Blaine Donlan, joined by Andrew Miller and Rod Weston, Andrew's special guest this evening. Thanks for coming over from Top Dragster. But yeah, Rod, I'll let you do your thing and throw it over to Andrew.
Absolutely. So it's kind of cool. We do this like the last Monday of every month for these guys. They do a pretty cool little race thing for the championship. It's the first couple ones we did. We had Chris Elliott against somebody. Then Chris kind of bowed out for a little bit. We've had a couple of good ones. Now, Brian Wolf over at ASR has joined us. He currently is in second to Scott Gilman with 12 points, and Irv Johnson's back there. He's got 38 points behind, and then Dirk Diggler is 51 points behind. So mathematically, because we believe, if I remember correctly, they do everything based off of the old point system. So I believe those four drivers still have a chance. Larry D's back there, 97 points back. He needs a Hail Mary to make that all happen, but it's a fun event. They have a good time with these guys, and we'll turn it over to Andrew Miller, our guest for the night.
Thanks, Rod. Thanks, Blaine. Appreciate you both letting me back into the Tarnation booth. I'm excited. I have not seen anything from Open Speedway in quite some time, so I'm excited. And as you were saying, Rod, definitely got a bit of a championship battle on our hands here, especially with the doubleheader. So I'm excited, and a couple of very, very competitive tracks at CTS Physics. So it's going to be a lot of pack racing, but with the no low lining rule, it's going to be also playing into it. Yeah, I think it's for me, time in and see what happens.
Yeah, that's something you got to remember too, the no low lining, because that this is one of the only leagues that really does that. And it does add a different spin to things. It sounds kind of weird at first, but it's cool because it sets it apart from everybody else.
You like I said, we always talk about it every week when we do, every month I should say, when we do this with these guys, and it's how you set up your strategy. You'll see people all night long going down there, getting up there, leading a lap. Once they do, they have to get out of that low line. So in Michigan, it'll be come into play a lot more than it will at the Open Speedway. Last month they did the Open Speedway. I believe they did Michigan as well for their final race. And once they got out there, they had Kelly Kaza, Greg Palmer was out there, and them guys were running that middle line. They can stay there all night long because there's no middle line rule, just a low line rule.
I think that honestly would probably be the better play. But from what it looked like, Michigan will be relatively flat out, but we'll see when they actually do kick it to the race session if that will indeed be the case or not. But if it is, then honestly, I kind of like what Rod said there. Just middle line it, try and maintain the draft, and then go crazy from there. Then once you get down to the end there, obviously pit stops will play into it as well. But otherwise, I'll be intrigued to see how drivers will be strategizing that.
And we noticed, you noticed actually, that they were running flat out. They did a little bit of a Michigan practice earlier, or it might have been at Atlanta, but just reminded, you had to remind yourself, oh yeah, it's CTS Physics, and when we got into the track, it did give us a little bit of warning that it was gripped up or changed. It usually means that someone's gone in there and made it a little bit tackier. So they might be able to run for a little bit wide open at Michigan, but probably as the run comes into play, probably that right front tire will wear off a little bit. You'll start seeing them lift a little.
Yeah, and then the low lining rule, going back to that, I think that's out the window in the last 5 laps?
I think it's last 2.
Last 2 laps? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're allowed to start blocking that low line in the last couple laps, so that's the strategy point comes into play, right? Like, where do you want to be? Do you want to have to give up that lane? It's a strategic play to try to be in that spot and be where you got to be in the last couple of laps to make that move or to not make that move or to block that lane, having to come out of that lane. and let people go by. It definitely leads to a lot of lane changes. Or not lane changes, lead changes.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or,
Well,
yeah, both. Yeah. If we're counting lane changes, yeah.
You'll see guys, especially the guys that are in the points, at least try to get out there and lead a lap to get that bonus point. But like I said, you will see kind of as they get kind of closer to the, I'd say probably 15 to go or so, maybe a little longer than that, but they'll start jumping down, leading, and pulling up. And like I said, they're just studying. They're figuring out, where do I need to be at that point so I can be the leader, so that when it gets to the point where I am allowed to use the low line, that I can keep everybody that's behind me.
Yeah, what we're watching right now is just a practice race. They don't really practice here. They warm up on different tracks. They won't run the tracks that they'll be tracking for points, obviously, because this is a season race. Right here, we're at like the Rock. I think it's Rockingham.
It's Richmond.
Richmond. Is it Richmond? So we'll be here at Richmond running this just for fun, and then might do one more, and then we'll get into the racing. But once you see Michigan, we're serious business once we get into Michigan there. But anyway, Andrew, what's going on at Top Tracks for this week? Got some hobo races tomorrow.
Hobo at Sonoma tomorrow. That will start at 9:00 Eastern time as per usual on Tuesday nights. The following week, I can't remember offhand where they're at, but I'll have to look at that. But Sonoma tomorrow. Zach's gonna be on the call with that one, so that should be pretty interesting. Watkins Glen proved to be quite a challenge. Of course, the Daytona Road Course was quite a challenge, so we're back on the road course trend here. So definitely gonna want to check that one out.
That's cool. Yeah. Did you see that? I was talking with Rod before the broadcast. Did you see that Area 23 released the Naval Air Base? Is it Coronado?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a text last week from Randall Coleman. He says, if you're not busy on Sunday, they were testing it because he's in cahoots with those guys. And he's invited me to the last couple of tracks before they're even released, because I like to run them online a couple times in league situations. So I was able to make the Red Bull Ring, but I wasn't able to make the Coronado one. But I guess it passed the test because they released it there today. So, and it looks super cool. And that, you talk about flat tracks, it's probably pretty flat since it's an airport.
Yes, but there is a point where you have to have a pilot's license on one of those straightaways there. When I watched the highlights of that, they were getting pretty darn high up in the air with those cup cars.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They were lifting them right off the ground.
Is it like is Cup running there?
They ran, I think they ran the O'Reilly Series, and they ran the Cup Series there, and it was crazy. They were just, I believe it was just after turn one, they went down a straightaway. They would come off the corner out to the wall and then go down the straightaway. They'd cut across the straightaway, and you'd see the cars just launch. They were probably a good 6 inches off the ground. I mean, you think about that, a 3,500 pound race car, 6 inches off the ground, that's pretty high.
No kidding. Why? Bumps in the track? Are they hitting
there was like a bump in the track. Yep. Bump in the track, yep. Just
in the track. I thought you were talking about maybe hitting those corner burn
No.
things.
This was down a straightaway. They were getting terrible, and if you get a chance, go take a look at the highlights of that race, and you'll see them. They were flying off that.
Okay, cool. Because now I'm curious to see if Area 23 included the bump. I kind of want to see if they did that, because like certain tracks in here are a little bumpy, so they can do it. You got to be careful how you do it. Like you say, that's a pretty aggressive bump. But
there's a version of Lime Rock that has a full-on jump, so it wouldn't surprise me. But imagine this though. Probably if you're just driving at like 40 miles an hour over that bump, you'd probably barely notice it. And yet, at those speeds, those guys are catching air.
Yeah, it was crazy. And of course, you brought up Lime Rock, the backstretch there, as they come through the S's and they turn to go up the hill. They had to put a chicane there because the It was, I believe it was the IMSA prototypes were actually coming around there so fast and going up that hill, and they were risking, they almost was lifting the front of the car off the ground, and they had to lift, because if they didn't, the air would pack underneath them, and then it would just pick them right up.
We don't need another Peter Dumbrecht.
Oh, no.
If anyone gets that reference.
That's crazy, though.
Oh, yeah, the air gets underneath. You got to figure, those cars are flat-bottom cars.
Yeah.
Like the new Cup cars are now. They're all flat-bottom cars, and if the air gets underneath it just right, it's going to make it, just going to pack underneath there, and you're a pilot without a license and no control.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, you mentioned that, the flat bottom on the cars, it does help with the aerodynamics, but if the thing gets around the right way, it's just like, it's like a Frisbee.
You saw Ryan Preece, I believe it was at Daytona, may have been Daytona or Talladega, get airborne, and they basically got it backwards, the air packed underneath it. He went up in the air and just crashed. He didn't have the violent flip or anything like that. It just kind of come down a little bit, And they asked him about it afterwards, and he goes, "Were you a bit nervous?" And he goes, "No," but he said, "I didn't really like the silence." Mm-hmm. And they were like, "You don't realize, but the silence. When he was airborne, he was off the gas. He said it was just eerie because I was just floating, and I had no control of what I was doing. I was just along for the ride, and it was just silence."
That's gotta be brutal, man.
Yeah.
Because it is weird. Like, I've seen those onboard cameras of guys getting up in the fence, like, Carl Edwards and Ryan Newman and stuff, like those crazy, horrific accidents. And Newman, yeah.
That was a bad one.
Just how weird it sounds when a car comes off the track, Another race here we're running at Texas. This will be another 10-lap race, little sprint race.
Got Robert Spring in chat saying you can throw out the low line in the second race 3 wide all the way.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the low line rule too. You're not going to be, don't cause any issues trying to relinquish that line. Like, if you can't move, then just stay where you are, kind of thing. So yeah, if you're in a 3, like, that's a good point. If you're in a 3 wide situation, you can't go anywhere. You got to stay there and just run it, especially at Talladega.
You're also in the chat.
Yep. Donnie does great paint schemes. He does. There's a lot of good paint schemes out here tonight. I love the different styles of the guys, too. Like, Rodney Sullins, you can usually tell a Rodney car.
Very nice.
Yeah. I've got a weird style because I'm not that good. And you got Donnie and Bernie Mobbs, Seth Cole. Like, there's so many people that do amazing paints. Oh, we got a car rolling back there. Who's that? Johnston. Donnie Cameron. Yeah, look at how cool that paint job looks.
If there's a race to end up getting wrecked, it's this one. That doesn't really matter. It's just a fun little practice race.
Yep.
I was talking with Donnie Cameron earlier, and he was talking about how he was running a Ditech car tonight, and in one of the cars, I'm not sure if the second race he'll be running the Ditech, and the first one he's going to be racing a Kyle Busch tribute car tonight. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, so is he changing paint schemes between races?
In between races, yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of drivers do that. I've seen Scott Gillen there. He was in a different car earlier. Now he's in, the Busch car. So time enough to switch out cars. Why not? Going from one race to another. You bring your Michigan car, then you turn around and bring your Talladega car or open Speedway car out. So, and Super Speedway cars, they're built different. They're built for straight line. No drafting. The drafting, but no draft. Pulling it. There's things slowing it down. Michigan, yeah, it's a big fast track, but you still need a little bit more mechanical grip at Michigan than you do at Talladega.
8 cars leading this race here at the halfway point, albeit it was a little warpy.
Yeah, these warm-up races are pretty awesome.
They're quick.
Yeah.
They'll get the adrenaline pumping, especially at the speed that these guys are holding. I'm pretty sure it's like it is flat out, all but. And I think Michigan will be the same way.
Yeah, Michigan's one of those tracks where everybody kind of just likes it. Oh, spins out the leader. Calamity. Drama.
I remember that Talladega Nights used to do the little sprint races, and in my opinion, it was kind of cool because, you know, you can go out there and practice. You get maybe 5-6 guys, you know, grouped together. Sometimes they get a little bit more of them. But you're never really in a racing.
Speedway, yeah.
Yeah, you're never in a really racing situation. You're just kind of playing follow leader or, you know, doing stuff. But you get that 10-lap sprint race. You know, yeah, there's no trophy, there's no money, there's no prestige. They don't, you know. You ask us next time, you know, who won the last this certain sprint race. Don't know. But you just go out there and you learn a lot more in a racing scenario than you would if you're just out there practicing.
Yeah. I won a couple of them, and they're tough, man. You're still grabbing that wheel like, yeesh. Trying to figure out what line's moving. And, yeah, it's a very nice, quick, short race. Enough time to sort of experiment with some stuff.
I've only won one of them over at ASR. And it was literally, I would have not been able to do it, but by doing the broadcasting that we do and watching them guys, how they change lanes. Oh.
He just about got the same treatment from Garland Davis.
Watching how they change lanes and stuff, that's the only way I won that race, is because of, you know, just being quick on the changing of the lanes. But during a sprint race, that's fine. During a regular race, I'm not really sure I could do that. It's tough for me. Still learning. I'm getting better at the super speedway racing, but ooh, 8 just got stuffed in there. Cole Kidder.
Yeah, Brad Faulkner wins that one. Thanks again for watching. Of course, everybody on YouTube doing the subscribing and liking and whatever you're doing helps the channel. Is always fun. Of course, thanks to Open Speedway for having us here this evening. And thanks, of course, to Andrew Miller, because Open Speedway wanted 3 guys. I was like, oh, I know who to call. I phoned him up on my telephone machine, and here he is.
Well, he tried calling the Ghostbusters first, but they didn't answer him, so I get along.
They never do.
I was watching earlier Brad Faulkner out there in the 24. He actually had T-Rex out. Anybody that knows the story of T-Rex would understand that. But basically, at the Coca-Cola 600, they do the All-Star race. So Rick Hendrick approached a few of the, you know, Ray Abraham and a few other guys, and he said, all right, I want you to build a car, and I want you to build it to the letter of the rules, but use any ideas that you have. And so they built this car, and it was over a second faster than anything else ever was. It won the race. Afterwards, it went through tech, it passed tech, and then they got called, Ray Ingraham got called to the trailer, the NASCAR trailer, and they said, you see that phone right there? I want you to call your boss and tell him that car is illegal. And he says, no, that car is all legal, everything, it passed. He goes, oh yeah, no, it did pass, but it will not pass tomorrow. By tomorrow, it'll be illegal.
What did they find?
They literally raised the floor. They, they did all kinds of stuff that just really, really weird. And then ironically, they took it out there and it wasn't that great. Ray Ingraham, being a modified driver from the New England area, he said, hey, I got an idea. Just hear me out. Let me throw these springs and this shocks in it. It's kind of, and as he said it, it's like a modified setup. With all the stuff that they had done and everything that, when you switched that setup over, the thing was just on rails. It was unreally fast.
I love it. We always talk about like how guys will cheat and figure it out, and in cheating is bad, but in motorsports, I love it.
It's just a racer's edge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the things that you do to actually kind of find an edge above your opponents, but you try to do it in a way that maybe it's not so much that it's illegal, it's just like it's not the way the rule was written. I read the rule this way. We call it reading in between the lines. And so I did it this way because the rule doesn't say I can't do it, but the rule doesn't say I can either. So you know, I've been caught a few times with a few of those rules myself, but
it is funny how it doesn't say I'm allowed to do it. It doesn't say I'm not allowed. It's, you know, the gray area of like, well, no, the rule is this, you know.
Well, you have the great and wise Smokey Unit, as he would always say. If the rule book doesn't tell me I can't do it, that means I can do it.
Yeah, he's right. What are you going to do? Right? Like, look, what was it? Who did the wall ride thing? Was it Ross Chastain? Was that
Ross Chastain?
I'm like, wow. I'm watching that going, man, he could have hurt people. He could have, he didn't.
It was unreal the speed he carried, though.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? That is the one and only time that'll ever happen.
Yeah.
They'll let it slide
they banned
because
it.
it's not in the rule book, but then they're going to ban that because it is so dangerous. Pieces of the car flying off. Like he could have got hooked. He could have got stuck in the wall. Like, what if he got stuck in the wall?
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and shot out in traffic or something. Like, everything could have gone wrong. Nothing did. But there's no way. That's in the rule book now. No Nintendo 64 wall riding shenanigans from here on out, kind of thing. Like
Christopher Bell actually got caught with that. He made an attempt. I believe it even might have been in Martinsville. I know he didn't do the blatant, never lift, put it to the fence and just go. He tried to, over aggressively tried to pass somebody. Didn't quite, went in a little deeper than he could. Ended up just hitting the wall a little bit, not very long, and then come off from it. And they took a lap away from him because, you're not allowed to wall ride at all.
I mean, we don't need another Michael Waltrip or Mike Harmon incident. So,
yeah, those were two unreal crashes.
What are those ones?
So at Bristol Motor Speedway, the way they used to go into the track, there was a gate on, I think it was turn 4. They'd open the gate, and the trucks would come in. It was just like a steel gate, that you would see, out in a farm or whatever. And the Michael Waltrip deal was him and Robert Presley were in the now Xfinity or O'Reilly series, but back then it was the Busch series, and they just touched. Presley didn't do anything wrong. He was coming off the corner. Waltrip was trying to go on the outsider, and they just touched. He went up, hit that fence, and the center punched the concrete wall. It basically took that gate, just destroyed the gate, and he center punched the end of the concrete wall, and the car just disintegrated.
Yikes.
They thought for sure they were going to go over there and pull a dead body out of the car. They go over, pull the roof of the car off. He's still sitting there, not even injured, in the seat. There's just the driver's side roll cage, so he's still attached to that.
Yikes.
There is no passenger side roll cage. The car literally is just disintegrated, and he survived it. And the same thing happened, kind of the same thing happened. It was a practice crash where Mike Harmon hit the thing, but when he did, it split the car open. And then I can't think of his name, but another driver. Johnny Sauter, you're right. So Johnny Sauter came along, had nowhere to go. I mean, he was on the brakes, trying to keep the car going so that he had control over it, and he hit him in the rear of the car. I would say if he had been a foot further to the right, he would have killed him. He would have squashed him. And when it was that close, the car disintegrated, and then they turn around, and here's Mike Harmon undoing his belts and getting out of the car. There's literally nothing to the car. You have to go look at those. Check them out on YouTube. They are just unreal crashes.
I remember the one that Dale Earnhardt Jr. got in, and it was at a practice or something, and the car caught fire. And it was Sonoma.
That was it was over Sonoma with a Corvette. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a NASCAR thing. It was some other.
You realize we've been sitting here talking. They've got qualifying done. So DJ is actually on pole. Cole Kidder's second. Mike Brush is third. Cole Pfeiffer is fourth. Joseph Randy Pavlon.
You're looking at practice.
Oh, practice. Oh, damn, that's right. You gotta. So they did random qualifying.
Yeah, I think it was Lotto. Yeah, because it just went to happy hour.
Yeah, so that was my bad. I'm always as Mike Wolf will, Brian Wolf will say, I'm always a little off, and I'm never quite live. The two Davis boys are on the front row. But I'll let you go through that.
Sounds good. Yep, as you said, the Davis guys on the front row there, in respective order. You just confirm here: Dave Davis and then Garland Davis. The 077 is going to be starting in third. That is Joe Kearns, Donnie Cameron, and then the 86 of DJ E. Johnston starting in fifth. Larry D, Brian Wolf, Mike Ireland. Let's see, Scott Gilliman, and hey, Blaine, you start 10th.
Yeah, buddy.
And he always
look at
beats
that,
me
row 5, right next to Weston.
Oh yeah, right. So actually, starting 10th will be Mike Brush.
We've got a pretty good field here tonight. Yeah, then we got Mike. We got? Ken Hunsbury's out there, Robert Spring, EJ, Andrew Miller. You're in 16th. Check it out. Joseph Landy Pavlon, Brad Faulkner, Gilliman again. We got Gillimans all over the place. Davis, Gilliman. That's cool. These obviously these guys are related, but Kidder. Who's this? The 003.
Intimidator is all we got.
Intimidator NC, yeah. LeBlanc, Diggler, Line, Pfeiffer, Rick K, and Jim Williams round out the field. So 24 starters this evening because of obviously 3 broadcasters are in that mix too. But right now they're in happy hour, so they're probably in a driver meeting. And we will be going green here in race number 1 of 2 shortly. But yeah, like I was saying there before about the Dale Jr. thing, I've heard him talk about it too on the podcast, where the car caught fire.
Yep.
And then he got out of the car and he should have burned to death because it was in like a practice situation. So there was no marshals. Like there was marshals out there, but not like a race situation. So not a lot of safety. And he said after, like, and this is after his dad died at Daytona. And he said, like, where's the guy that pulled me out? Like, I want to talk to the marshal and thank him, for pulling me out of there. And they're like, nobody pulled you out of that car, Dale. And he's like, yeah, like somebody grabbed me under the arms because he was stuck in the car. And somebody grabbed him from behind under both arms and dragged him out of that car. And they said, no, nobody did it. So it was one of those weird little stories of like, he pretty sure he had a helping hand from dad that day. Get the hell out of the car, kid. Because it's one of those weird little stories of like, you watch the replay and he sort of just falls on the ground beside the car. He thought somebody pulled him out, but nobody pulled him out.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I've heard, the story of, how he, watched the kind of a little episode thing on it, but I've never seen the podcast about that, so that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's a clip. I think it's a clip on the Dirty Mo podcast, and I've heard it a couple times. It's pretty wild. Or no, you know what? Maybe not. It might have been like a news reel of some kind. It might have been clipped from a TV show where he was talking about it.
Taking a quick look out there, and the inside line of fourth car back is Brian Wolf. He's 12 points behind, and Scott Gilliman is right behind him in the ninth place. So they're starting 7th and 9th on the field tonight. So they're going to be right next to each other at the start. See who can come out ahead of the other on this first one as we go green.
30 laps at Michigan are officially underway for championship night here at Open Speedway.
It's like Davis, what was the first Dave Davis there on the bottom? Got the good run. He's going to probably stay down there. Like I said, I believe it's kind of a situation where you got to try to, you got to give up that bottom. You can't stay there, but I don't really know when it is, but I do believe they're allowed to go down there, lead a lap, and then they just have to relinquish the bottom. So Though he has been doing that, but there's nobody's caught up with him yet to where they can actually go by him. He will lead the first lap.
Off LeBlanc coming off of pit road. Appears to have missed the start, but is going to be coming out there, I believe, 1 lap down.
They have a caution. He'll be able to be the lucky dog, and he'll get his lap back under that scenario.
Yeah, when did he just miss the grid, or I wonder how that happened.
That would be my guess. Would probably be just missing the start. I did see a few blank spots. I mean, obviously, I know for us broadcasters in the random qualifying, but the 84 just missing that. As right now, Kern's going to lead this lap, 87. Going to take advantage of that inside lane. And Brian Wolf down there on the bottom lane as well. That's where you're going to want to make up ground, but that's kind of as we've alluded to. Do you want to be doing it this early?
Taking note of the manufacturers that are out there tonight, there's only 4 Fords out there. There is 1 Dodge, there is 1 Pontiac, there's 1 Lexus, that would be Joseph's Landy Pavillon, and the rest of the field is out there, 2 Dodges, and the rest of the field is out there on Chevrolet, so there's a big Chevy group here tonight. So look forward to, you look to the next second race, maybe those Chevy drivers will all stick together and gang up on the Fords and Dodges out there.
So it's fun to see this no low line rule in play here. You can see like Wolf's able to get it, but then he kind of has to drift up. We're dealing with lap traffic here now too.
Ooh. Be wide here. That's and you get a little tight. Oh, really tight. Look out. You're gonna be 4 wide here for a moment.
Almost, yeah. Wow. Staying low on that one makes sense on Michigan because it's a lot of room out here too.
So much of a difference the draft makes, because I'm sure he's holding it flat out. I can't imagine there'd be anything wrong with that 84. So draft is definitely playing a big part in this, and oh my goodness, it is a hornet's nest in the midfield on back.
Everybody wants to get out there. Brian Wolf was able to lead that last lap, so that will give him 1 lap lead over Scott. But Scott is in a position right now where he might be able to lead this next lap. So then that would be kind of null and voided it a little bit, but he'll get back right up there 2 points, 12 points ahead, and we'll just have to see if they can stay out there and lead the most laps. But like I said, no low line rule. You get that. You don't lead a bunch of laps like that in this track. Like I said, we'll see maybe more at the Open Speedway and the second race, just because they can run this high line and stay out front.
Pressure on the and as well moving forward.
It's cool because it's no low line. So, I mean, if you're really strong on the high line, then just stay there all day.
When you're going flat out like this, though, making that high lane work on a track like this is going to be very, very difficult. Especially 3 and 4. I feel like the shorter way around is going to be king. It's dirt there on the front straightaway that may have been from the 84. But Donnie Cameron, though, was able to find his way back to the bottom pretty quickly, and already maybe looking to take the lead back here pretty shortly. He's trying to help Mike Brush take the lead away from the 077, another driver that's actually doing a good job of keeping it forward. 49 also, and the 86. Oh boy, might go 3 wide for a second. That was going to be awfully tight.
I'm really surprised that more leagues don't run like Michigan BR, where you literally could run right up next to the wall. It's not the fastest way around the track, but if you run up there versus when somebody runs the bottom, in about 10-15 laps, you actually catch up to them and then go by them because you're carrying more speed and you're saving your tires on that higher groove.
Version of Homestead that's really like that. I can't remember which one it is, but that sounds very, very familiar. It's like, yeah, the bottom lane tends to be a little bit faster, but you kill your tires a lot faster. That sounds very similar. And honestly, yeah, tracks like that, it's like pros and cons to whatever you do. And I think that's a great way to try to go about it. I'm sure building stuff like that's not easy, but when it's perfected like that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But Michigan one is pretty good. Like I said, you can run the bottom, you can run the tops. But you go to the Atlanta BR, and it just literally, it's just the top. That's the only place you can run. And again, that one gets kind of boring just because you're just riding around up next to the wall the whole time.
Tell you what, Joe Kearns is actually doing a pretty impressive job of staying in front as much as he has. Going to lose the lead now to Ronnie Cameron, but tell you what, the 77th, I think he's going to be a favorite here if he's able to maintain this decent track position. He's going to lose the lead for now, but could find his way back to the bottom. He's been looking pretty good. Was actually able to keep pace there with the 87 through the front straightaway. I don't know. There might still be something to be said about maybe maintaining that outside unless you do that.
Looking at where Joe Kern is in the points, he's actually only run 2 races this year, so this will be his 3rd race. He is way down in points at about the 23rd position, 659 points away. I don't think he's got a shot at the championship tonight.
Not quite. But hey, good to see him out there and still going for it. Cameron now losing a lot of ground, and there's the man Brian Wolf taking the race lead away here about a third of the way through this race, and I want to say they'll have to pit? Question mark?
Yeah, sure.
I can't remember.
The garage says they can do 17 laps on fuel.
Yeah.
So they must be on 3X.
Yeah, because they're going to want pit stops in here because that usually happens. If they're on 3X, yeah, then they'll be definitely needing to pit.
I would think you'd want to try to do it as long as it's been going green, maybe, because I don't know if you'd lose a lap pitting here. You might, but if you got in there around lap 15, got back out there with some friends, you want to be able to have some drafting help here. You might be able to kind of get out there, get a little quicker, and get ahead of everybody that pits the next time around.
It's all going to depend on who you pit with as well. If you're pitting with a big group, you might have to be a little bit more conservative, but then you'll have more drafting help. If you're pitting by yourself, you could be a little more aggressive coming down pit road, but then you'll probably lose that with no drafting help. That's the oh my goodness gracious! I thought there was going to be 4 wide there for a moment.
Yeah, they know how to use this whole track. This is such a great track. Michigan's always a lot of fun.
Ripped up game track, Michigan. It makes for a fun time. We're seeing a fun time right now. There's the 86. DJ going for it. Be able to get the lead there, and about it, a couple of the championship fighters here. Brian Wolf, Scott Gilliman going at it here for 2nd place at the moment.
I was wrong about I thought it was Scott Gilliman. It wasn't Scott. It was Lennon Gilliman is driving the 77. Now, if you get a chance to look at that, that is what they call the T-Rex paint scheme.
I wonder if he'll have about as much speed as that as the actual T-Rex car. Hey, he's coming up here under knocking on the top 5 at the moment. Does push up the track there a little bit. These cars seem like they're getting maybe just a little more tight. Oh, pit stops. Here we go.
I think they'd be pitting around the halfway make. They can.
Oh, we got one around. It was Intimidator. Oh, and someone's almost in the wall.
It looks like they're getting about maybe 14 to 16 laps. I mean, now we're midway through, so they should be able to make it to the end. Those guys who just went in will be pretty close.
Have to save a little bit if that was as far as they could go.
Yeah, if they were on fumes. Yeah, I doubt it, though. With this many cars out here now, they can probably make it.
More coming in here, including Pavlon.
Long, flat chute into that commitment line there.
Larry D, Joe Kearns. A lot of guys still staying out.
So very weird. The 54. I'm not making this up. Skyline pitted,
Yep.
but he didn't pit. He drove through the pits.
Huh.
Not sure. I'm just checking to see if maybe he missed his pit stall.
I'm back
What
in.
happened?
Here comes the rest.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh, another one around. 0-0.
Yeah,
Whoa, way up onto the track.
The zeros of Mike Ireland he's trapped in the infield there.
Well, let's bring out a yellow flag. He's still trying to get that thing spun around.
Yeah, probably not. He's not on the track. That's
Wait, you got to
unfortunate
be
for him.
gentler on the throttle on the grass there.
Yeah.
Another one went around of a Skyline.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I think he couldn't get into his pit stop just due to the fact that there was a lot of cars around him, because I didn't know where he pitted. Went and checked it. He qualified about 24th, so he's back there quite a ways. I think it just when he came into the pit, they had so many cars, he couldn't make it to his pit stall, so just went around one more time to get into his pit. That's going to hurt him quite a bit, because that's a lot of time lost driving through the pits.
Robert Springs staying out the longest.
Spring on the pits now at the end of lap 17? 18.
I think for him 18. Someone's slow on the backstretch.
Uh-oh. Who is
Maybe the
someone?
33 might be out of fuel or blew up, one or the other.
Yeah, we'll get a cockpit view here, and we've got 0 RPM. You just got a tow to the pits. On board right now at the 33 of Dirk Diggler.
I believe when Robert Spring pits, that Scott Gilliman will be your leader as it comes around. He's second right now. Joseph Landy Pavlon is all over his rear bumper, but I believe those two guys will be the ones that inherit the lead.
Lennon Gilliman will be in their draft as well, so he should be able to close in. And then the 8 Kidder is there with them as well. So we got 4 cars in a draft here, and then we had a bigger pack, well-formed, a little bit further back. They might be able to close, especially as they battle for the lead right now. Pavlon is going for it on Gilliman.
Yeah, Gilliman got credit for that lap being led, but Pavlon right on him.
This is Pavlon's first race of this season. Doesn't show up in the points at all, so he's just here basically just kind of try to stink up the show a little bit and see if he can't get himself a win or two.
He's in a great position to try and do it. Oh my goodness, he's blocking the 8.
And he can, right till that point there. You can see he has to move over because that would be considered low lining.
Now watch the lap times, guys. This is going to be interesting because they're racing it up big time among these 4 guys. I'm pretty sure that it was about a second difference. Yeah, about a second difference between those guys and 5th place Irv Johnston. So they are well formed. They are going to close up here, and then we're going to have at least, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have 9 cars battling for the lead here shortly.
With 10 to go too, so they're starting to get down to the end of this thing. That when they get up to them and see how much ahead of steam they have, these guys up front, they're racing so much side by side. It's absolutely breaking the wind for the other guys and making it easier for them to catch up.
Here's a question, Rod. I feel like you might know this. If you're in a pack like that, like what Irv Johnson was just leading there, can you low line because he's running in 5th place?
Yep. Only the leader can not be run the low line. So.
Interesting, but yeah, they're in it now, so it's game on.
He's got that down at the bottom there, but I don't know if he's going to lose DJ or not. I think DJ's kind of sticking with him.
Oh, just caught out Lennon Gilliman there.
Yep.
Aaron's kind of staying with him. The other Davis there, Garland Davis is kind of staying with him. If they can stay together like that, they may be able to get themselves up front. But there again, like I said, low line rule. Once they get near the end of it, now you're going to start seeing people kind of jockeying a little bit to kind of get in that place where they want to be, so they can be the leader on the last 2 laps there, so they can low line and keep the lead, and hopefully nobody can get by them.
I like what Joseph's doing here, though. He's not really low lining. He's going up high, or kind of middle laning it on the front straightaway there, and then he's just letting the car naturally wash up, and then getting up next to the wall, going down the backstretch. And right now, Scott Gilliman has yet to be able to make a move on him. He might be close enough now, and especially with the lap car coming up here, that's the 00. We'll see if he's able to get enough of a run to get to that inside. But Joseph's doing a great job, I think, of managing managing the line so that he's perfectly legal, but is not given given as little of an opportunity as possible for Scott Gilliman. And my goodness, I am struggling with my words.
Need to take a break, take a drink. But that was a good job of Joseph Landy Pavlon using Mike Ireland kind of as a pit, so that Gulliman could not go underneath him because Ireland was right there. So
we watched this up a bit, though. Yep, here it comes. That is the run that the 15 needed. And now he's got both Johnstons behind him. The 077 is back in this. I told you. I told you, Joe Kearns is going to be competitive in this one, and there he is. And is that Whataburger number 66? Garland Davis back in this thing.
That's it's like a crapshoot right now because, like I said, they're going to start figuring out what they want to do, where they want to be. I'm looking to see Irv has not led a lap yet, so he's trying to get out there and lead at least one lap. He is one of the drivers that are in the points, but not high up in the points. But I believe he has run every race this season, so he's still wants to finish the best he can for the year.
5 laps to go, and oh my goodness, you see him getting way more aggressive with just forcing it down there on that yellow line. You're going to have to turn the wheel a lot harder, though. It's going to be a lot harder to keep it down there. We're going to be toward the end of tire runs, so these guys are going to probably be pushing up the track a little bit more. But now you got the 49 and the 86. We'll see how much they'll be working together. Joseph is coming back forward here on the bottom lane. Back up a third. Boy, guys, this is going to be really interesting here for these final 5. Now 4.
Been a fantastic race so far, too.
Scott Gilliland was your leader the last time here. He had to give up the lead. And he dropped all the way back to about 6. Now he's working his way back towards the front.
It's going to be harder and harder to do as Irv Johnston now leading it. The DJ behind him. See how much those, like I said, those guys could be working together. Who's in 5th? Is that Larry D?
Yes. Yep, the 188. Yep. Oh,
Whoa.
A little wiggle there.
Yeah, a wiggle there. Just lost it to the 15. But, man, I thought I remember seeing him have unsure if he was involved in one of the pit road issues, so that's pretty amazing to see.
I'm into 2 to go. I'm trying to find Brian Wolf. He's nowhere near the top end there.
He's gone. I'm not even showing him on
He's
the stats.
back in 10th.
He's back in 10th. They're a group of 4 guys.
Goodness.
Fortunately, they're racing side by side. They're not using, working together to try to get caught up to that pack. But
With 2 to go, so keep it pegged to that low line now. And how much is that 86 going to be wanting to force the issue? It's almost what you got to do at this point. The 66 is going to be like, well, if I can't pass him low, I'll pass him high. Oh my goodness! And then you got, God, that's Scott trying to get underneath Joseph Landy Pavlon. He's about to go below the white line to make it work.
Now the question is, do you help your brother win, or do you steal the win away from your brother?
Take it.
You gotta take it. You gotta take it. Yeah, you can't help somebody win. You want to win. Everybody wants to win every time, but there it is.
Yep. So now
Last
1 to go.
White flag in the air.
Now EJ can stay right there in the bottom if he wants to, and just all he's got to do is kind of keep the car going forward, but looking in that rearview mirror wherever they go, he's got to make sure that he's in front of them.
15 has to give a heck of a shove here to the 86 if they're going to make it work. He is not going to work with him. He's going to force it down there. But hey, that's for points. So that's big. If he doesn't, okay, he lifted out of that. That could have been bad.
Daryl in the 86 trying to block.
Question is, he's not going to be able to catch him, but is he going to get that second position?
2 spots.
No, he won't. He won't even get 3rd.
Nope. He just got 4th. Man, the momentum. All about momentum, and it all
Irv Johnston
faded.
wins it in the first race. We had a crash in 3 and 4 on the last lap.
Oh, was
great
it?
race too. Didn't have any cautions. Well, I guess technically we did afterwards, but
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Tail end of this pack, actually. Lennon Gilliman actually gets into the 077, and all three of them, the 77, the 077, and the 00, all end up wrecking. 77 actually goes for a flip.
Oh, man, yeah. Some tore up cars.
EJ's going to bring her down there, see if he can burn it down a little bit. Hey, burn it down.
How many of these guys are out of fuel, you think?
Might be close.
Yeah, remember, they all pitted around the halfway point. Oh, it's a fuel window, so I think he's out of gas.
I'm thinking that same thing. He just kind of rolled to a stop on the front stretch.
Yep. Oh, no. Hey, you know what, though? If that's the case, that's pretty awesome. That shows right there your strategy worked.
Let's see if we can get EJ down
I
here.
don't think anybody ran out until after the checker.
Let's get EJ down here and see if he can tell us a little bit about his race.
There.
Go, EJ, you got Rod, Blaine, and Andrew in the booth live. You got a copy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Go ahead, Andrew. I'll let you do the interview.
Ooh, pressure's on.
No. Go for it.
No, man, great win. I guess it's worth asking. Did your bro end up blocking for you there, or is he trying to go for it?
Well, I think he was helping me. He knows I'm close up there and close for to win the championship. So I think he was kind of helping me out there.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I get that, but I guess for you though, running out of fuel after the checkered flag there, how close was it? Did you have to save any fuel there, or were you able to go flat out?
Oh, I was able to go flat out, except for that last lap, just when the checker come out there, said I was low, and of course it started dropping, and I ran out. Didn't have enough to do a burnout.
Yeah, you got the checkered flag though. That's what matters. As you said, kind of up there in the points. High hopes for Open Speedway here.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. And this one, it just depends on where you land, and the qualifying there and the random, the lotto, it depends on where you're at there. And it's only 25 laps, so you don't got much time.
25. Well, that's going to be a shorty, but a great win here, though, in the first race. That's always something to be pretty proud of in a good competitive field like that. And catching up to the leaders there, really well done. So, got a lot to be proud of, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for the broadcast there.
Yeah, man. If there's, I guess just while we're up here, I think Blaine does this. Shout outs or any closing thoughts you want to give to the people out there in TV land?
Just shout out to my boys if they're watching. I'm not sure if they are. And, all the other racers and Ralph and, the administrators for putting us on. It's a fun time, guys.
Fun watching you guys out there, and looking forward to seeing what you can do in race number 2 here. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, congratulations, EJ. So good luck in the next one, bud.
Hey, thanks.
So there we go. First one done.
And now
EJ went in there, like I said, third in points, 38 points behind. Brian Wolf didn't have a very good race. Scott Gilman was in second. So he managed to gain on him a little bit. So he's got to have hopefully a little better race in that second one to maybe he can get even more points on him and maybe take the championship away.
Have to hope for a lot here in race number 2. So we'll get rolling here pretty shortly.
One thing go ahead.
Yep.
I was going to say, one thing I've always been mentioning lately on our broadcast is that there's a fellow racer out there that's been known for stepping off the rules and using illegal EXEs and doing a little bit of cheating, and recently has been caught again. Unfortunately, it was over here at Open Speedway, and he is no longer racing, and I don't think he's got a league that he could ever go to. So we're not going to mention his name, but he knows who he is, and I just think that's not a good thing to be out there cheating at a game like this.
No, I mean, there's so much good competition and just friendships and stuff, but I don't know, cheating just always seems weird. You just come out and run, man. Like I don't know. I'm never going to win any of these races, but it's fun to come out and run them. You know, like we were talking before the broadcast even started tonight. You can jump on this game, and we have since it was released, any night of the week with all these leagues that we know and follow. Not to mention the hundreds of leagues we don't know, because there's leagues that, like, we're kind of stuck in a little pocket of like a dozen leagues, but there's so many more leagues. It's wild. You can jump on a race and race with like 20 to 40 people any night of the week. Why you would cheat, I don't get it. You know, it's not like, yeah, it's a shame. But you know what? Open Speedway, they don't put up with that stuff, so they'll figure it out eventually.
The good thing about Open Speedway, they run a little bit later than everybody else does. Now, that doesn't always suit everybody's kind of, timeline, but I do know a lot of people that are, I've raced in a bunch of leagues, and I had a buddy of mine, I was like, hey, you got to come over here. What time do they start? And I'm like, well, I think it's 8:30. That's too early for me. I can't make that. So, if you out there that want to start a little bit later in the evening, I believe, if I remember correctly, Larry told me they run 7 nights a week. So there's always something out there for you, and they do start a little bit later at night. So if that's something that appeals to you, come on over and check out Open Speedway.
Is it 7 nights a week? They have a series every day.
7 nights a week they run.
Wowzers.
Few leagues that do that, actually.
That's crazy.
I just clicked over the live stream and saw my logo there. Hello there.
Yeah, buddy. Follow Andrew on YouTube, Top Dragster Broadcasting Services. You need your NASCAR broadcasted? Get a hold of Andrew over at Top Dragster 2117. What's the 2117? What's that mean?
YouTube just randomly generated that. That was not me.
I think I asked you that before. Yeah, it's like, hey, try this.
You gotta come up with a story for it, man. You just gotta get innovative. Come up with a neat little story of why you got the 2117.
I wonder if I can fix that. I think I will. Maybe make it like 47 or something, or 86, because those are generally the two numbers that I race with. Or somehow include Sleep Token in there somewhere, because I basically made them my personality now. So
I wonder. Try to come up with a cool story for it. 2117. I got a cool story. There's 2,116 other Top Dragster channels. Can't be, right? Has to be.
This one's the most unique, so.
Yes. No, it's fun, man. Like all the different broadcasters in this thing. And, tomorrow night, Hobo. Get on the old Top Dragster and watch some. Where are you guys racing tomorrow?
Sonoma.
Oh, yes, you mentioned that already. Yeah, Sonoma.
That's actually a league that I used to run at before I got over here, and unfortunately, the Steve Labino and Dan Rubino don't run the league anymore. They transferred over to some of the other guys that raced there, but he decided that he didn't want to do a winter series, and I wanted something to do, so I went looking for a league to do some winter series. Landed kind of over here at Talladega Nights, and then that has just kind of escalated, I guess is what it is. Got me into broadcasting again, and racing with a bunch of different other leagues. So I miss the guys at Hobo. They're a great group of guys over there. They're a lot of fun, but they didn't do the winter series, so I ended up finding a new home.
So many leagues and so many different formats too. Like there's leagues that take like the Maverick Cup series. When it's done, it's just done until it starts again in February. But the other ones do like a winter series. They switch it up a bit, switch mods, but there's always a plan, And to keep these things going year after year after year, it's crazy. The amount of work involved,
No, I was going to say, you said something before. Of course, you got the Thursday night broadcast. We got TMP coming up at some point, but that's not for a while, right?
TMP is Neville sick. Wednesday, August the 5th at Indianapolis. And it's a 200-mile race. That's their season opener. That's a big one. Yeah, they're doing a 200-miler there. So they were trying to figure out if they want to run it, how they want to run it. They were talking about maybe doing stages or heats. I think he was talking about heats, but I think they're just going to run the 200. I say just do it. It's Indy. You gotta. Green flag, checker flag. No nonsense. Run that thing. May the best man win. May the best driver win. Sorry. May the best driver win.
That's going to be a long one. 200 laps around Indy is pretty good.
Yeah. 200 miles. How long's the track?
200 miles. 2.5 miles. So.
Oh, okay. Was it 2.5 even? I thought it was only 2.
Oh, it's 2.5.
What they tell you? We just go look at qualifying now. Joseph Landy Pavillon's going to be on the pole, driver down second. Garland Davis third. Blaine Donovan fourth. I mean, if I were to shake flip a coin on how many times he gets heads, because he always beats me at these qualifying things like this, I bet you he beats me 8 times out of 10. He's always beats me. Of course, then again, you got Andrew Miller. He's way down the line on this one, but.
It's because I actually seem to be having a problem. I cannot download the track.
Oh, you didn't have Open Speedway in. I will run down too. Joseph Landy Pavillon, diver down, and you have Garland Davis, you have EJ, Joe Kearns, Brad Faulkner, Dirk Degler, Mike Ireland, Mike Brush, Donnie Cameron, Dave Davis, Scott Gilliman starting his 14th. He he's still probably the current point leader. EJ is up there in 5th, so he's going to be, trying to see what he can do to get far enough ahead of him. Skyline is 15th. Robert Spring 16th. Larry D 17th. Lennon Gillen 18th. He's switched to a different car. It's got the Prime car. And Dale Johnson, DJ 19th. 20th is Hunksberry. 21st, Brian Wolf. He's got his work cut out for him tonight, starting back there. 22nd, Rick Kay. 24th, Jim Williams. 25th, Cole Pfeiffer. 26th, Intimidator. I say Cole. I think I got that right. I hope so. 27th is Cole Kidder. 28th, LeBlanc. And rounding out the field tonight, Donnie Cameron.
There's a few opens in the track directory. Is it Open Night?
I think it's Open Night is what it's called, yeah.
Is that the one you're grabbing, Andrew?
I was using the download links that were provided, and it is saying that not secure or something like that.
Oh. Let's see here. All right, we'll look at this one. I'll send it to you in Facebook. Bear with me here.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, there's 3 open speedways on there. In their track directory. I think it's Open Night. Where is Andrew? I can't see Andrew. Got it. Try that one.
Yeah, that's weird. Invalid response.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
OpenSpeedway.net/tracks.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, everybody.
Interesting.
Weird.
Drivers, to your cars.
Joseph Landy Pavlon going to be the control car on the bottom, driver down on the outside, Garland Davis, and then Joe Kearns. Now, the thing of it is, we know we can't low line the rule, but, you know, if they get down and they run 2x2, and Pavlon is not able to go up at all, he's not violating any of the rules because he has no room to be able to go up there. Pace car makes the trip down pit road, and you got to wait for him to go through the tri-ovals. The start-finish line is at the end of pit road and beyond, and we'll see who gets that good run. Kind of weird, they separated.
Yeah. Yeah, the no low lining thing is cool here because, I mean, with a super speedway, we're going to just see these guys be going, 2-3 wide all day long. They're not really going to have room to relinquish that line. So, like in this situation here, what are you supposed to do, right? You just hold your line until you actually can give it up.
I thought Diver Down was going to probably get out front there. He really anticipated that start very well. Joe Kearns was right on him and started giving him a little shove. And I thought for sure that they were going to probably get, at least Diver Down was going to get a little bit ahead of him. But it didn't work out that way. I think Garland got into the back of Joseph Landy Pavlon and got him moving. Pavlon was able to get him from the bottom up to the high side. So he's going to try to see if he can lead lap number 1 on that high side. And he'll probably stay there. We see a lot of the guys right here. This track is pretty famous for the middle groove being the preferred line and the faster way around the track in this drafting situation. He is able to lead the first lap. But one weird thing that we have not figured out how and why it happens, they get 3 wide, which they can do on this track, and they get 3 wide, that middle lane just seems to lose all that momentum and drop back.
You'll notice too, I fixed the ticker for this race. I noticed in the last race, the ticker's set up to have the top 10, it'll stay there the whole time, and then the bottom 11 to 27 will flip to 28 to 43.
You didn't have it that way last time.
I had it. It was actually flipping to nothing because there's only 25 people on the server, so there was no reason to actually have that secondary slide. So that's why it was rotating to blank. So I've disabled the blank part, so now we can just see everybody all the time, and it will still update itself every 15 seconds. So if positions change, they will be displayed there.
Irv Johnson there, down at the bottom, really trying to get up there. He wants to lead a lap. He wants to go. He wants this championship. He's out there driving for it. He's driving his heart out to see if he can get up there and get far enough ahead of Scott Gilliland and maybe make enough points up to take the championship away. Unfortunately, we don't know. Ralph usually, if he's out there racing right now, so he can't do it. But last time, a couple of times ago, we did this for them. Ralph was feeding us the information. He was telling him the points in between races. He didn't race the second race. Then he was feeding us where the points were and who was where. So actually live feeding it while we were doing the broadcast, so that was kind of cool.
So if they are running 3X here, what would the pit window be? What's the garage telling you on fuel? I'm guessing
12 or 13 laps would be my guess.
Right. Because they're usually running 19,
59. 20. But we know for a fact with the truck physics on this track at 2X, you can only do about, if you are Joseph Landy Pavlon out front like he is, you're only going to do about 18 laps. If you're back there just about where Donnie Cameron is, you know, we're going to easily be able to get anywhere from 19 to 20. But at 3X, it'd be interesting to see how far can they go. 25 laps, so I would guess it would probably be maybe a 1-stop, but it could be really close. So it may be a 2-stop race. Avalon's led the only lap so far. There's Johnson on the bottom. They're really trying to get that bottom groove going, trying to get up there, lead a lap. Avalon, like we said, this is his second race of the season. He just ran his first one there the other day. Joe Kern moves to the bottom, but not quick enough to get down in front of EJ. I mean, he was trying to time it so he could get down there, maybe move that line, and unfortunately for him, he's in that sucker hole, they call it, in the middle, nobody behind him. He is going to end up just dropping all the way back to the end of his guys off. Quite a ways back there.
Dropping like a stone. He kind of just, like you said, a little bit too late, and he sort of hooked himself. But
it's early still. Changing lanes like that, there's an art form to it. If you do it right, you come out in front of that line and you don't slow that momentum down. That's the proper way to do it. Sometimes we see people make the lane choice a little bit too late, and when they do, it ends up costing that line a little bit. So you have to make sure you time it right. But you look at that group there that's running on the out front in the middle there. They are nose to tail on the straightaways. They're tucked right in tight, and that's what you got to do. You got to keep pushing them new guys. When you get back to Scott Gillen there, you sit there and he's in the fourth. Then, well, shouldn't he be pushing? Not really. Him and Robert Spring back there, they just kind of follow behind them. If you start getting where you start pushing back from back there, you end up causing a little bit much of an accordion effect, ends up causing the big one.
Talk about a big one. And last week there on Thursday, man, there was a wreck that literally took every car out. 40-car race right from the front row.
Everybody but me, I didn't make the show.
Yeah. I think it was Billy Elliser that was in the middle of that too, and somehow didn't get wrecked. Like he was getting hit, but every time he got hit, there was a car on the other side that straightened him out. Just a couple little bumps, and then drove out the other side. It was like a tornado happening around. I think it was Billy. I probably wrote it down, but
I didn't practice any at all. So because I didn't practice, I didn't really, I wasn't prepared, for it, and I guess I just wasn't feeling it and didn't get a good enough lap.
Qualifying here at Talladega is very tough, especially if it's a knockout qualifying situation, because there's ways that you can set your stuff up in the settings menu for the game, just your steering assistance and whatnot, to make it, you're talking about fractions of a second. But when you've got 50 people trying to get into a 38-car race, or 40, maybe 40 cars can start the race with a couple of broadcasters, that's, you have to be perfect.
Yep, and that's just exactly what happened to me. I had been getting right down there. I'm not quite as good as some of the the guys that are already qualified in and the guys that are really, really good at the qualifying, but I was able to just squeak in every week there for a little bit. I just, like I said, had an off week, just did not get a good line and did make the show, and it's all right. I still enjoy racing it. I'm not a super speedway guy, but I'm starting to enjoy that more and more.
Yeah, you surround yourself with the right crew, right?
Yeah.
Anybody, like all these type of leagues that run these specialty Talladega tracks, they've got the setup, they've got the track set, and we talk about it all the time. The combination of the track I and the setup that they're running are pretty much flawless.
Saw a few laps back that Donnie Cameron moved from the high side down to the bottom side to try to see if he couldn't make up ground with that lower line. But you just have to look at the way they're doing it. They're not really running like, the Pavlon, Diver Down, and Mike Ireland out on that top. They're pushing, they're staying nice and tight, nice and straight. That bottom line, they're just kind of offset a little bit. Cameron kind of moves up a little bit, Irv goes down a little bit there. They're just not quite getting themselves lined up well enough so that they can get that run on the bottom.
And again, it's part of the low line thing.
Yeah,
he can stay up there and just lead. There's space to pass him. He's not taking away the gap,
And if you saw what Intimidator did there, that was a really good move. He was on the high side. He got a really, really good run. So he decided to use that run instead of putting the energy into the car in front of him. Use that run to get down and get a good run. Now he got out a little bit on the guys in the low line, and unfortunately, because he did that, when they run him down, the closing rate was just a little bit faster than it really needed to be. So for a little bit there, it slowed things down, but now they're starting to push him back towards the front. He hopefully can get them guys lined up a little bit. Like I said, you look there, they're not running kind of nose to tail. You've got the 24 Proctor in the middle there. They're kind of killing each other. They got to get lined up if they want to get out front. You ain't going to beat that high line the way they're running.
Especially with the rules they're running, right? I mean, they could probably make it work on the bottom, but you don't want to because you got to give it up.
Well, the thing of it is, though, if you get that bottom to work, you have to give it up. You're required to. So what do? You give it up in front of Joseph Landy Pavlon, and you're gonna go. But you got to get there. They're not, with Faulkner in the middle like that. They keep switching around. Brush was up behind him. Now he's back down to the bottom. They're not really tucked in really. Oh, Faulkner went all out of shape there. I don't know if he was contact or what happened. He went up into that middle lane. So, yeah, that's going to bring out our first caution of the evening.
Yeah, we'll load up a replay there.
I was just having to catch it.
Faulkner? Oh, it might have been a...
The 24 Faulkner just kind of... I don't know if he got contact. I'm not really sure. I just saw it kind of happen there in the background.
Yes, you can see here from the bird's eye view, who is that? That's Faulkner in the middle.
The red car's Faulkner in the middle.
Yeah, the 87 right there.
That's the problem. He was running in the middle. They needed to get that bow line going, and he was running in the middle. For a little while, he had help behind him, but...
Oh, and then the 84 tied to 54. So a little bit of scraped up, twisted metal there. Yeah.
It's amazing how long Faulkner slid down the backstretch sideways. He definitely is going to want to pit and put tires on. He probably don't have any left.
Yeah, I did see that. It was weird. It was almost like shuffleboard. You could just sliding sideways for 10 miles. Flat spot, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. And it's flat spotting tires like that. It's not a comfortable ride. Hopefully, I haven't seen if he's still going out there, but he didn't, pop a tire, because that would make it even a little bit more fun for him to get back. Let's see if any of our points leaders stay out to try to lead a lap that they haven't yet. So, because currently right now, Joseph Landy Pavlon has led all the laps 12 so far.
Yeah, and I think at this point, like, they're going to want to come in regardless. Faulkner's staying out, it looks like. But I think you would want to stay out now because it's tough to pit here by yourself. That's not going to work.
So you look at Faulkner's 9th in points, and he's about 26 points going into the race, the last race. I don't know how he did in comparison to Diver Down, but he's got an opportunity probably to maybe get up to 8th. So that's what he's racing for. They can't win the championship, but you want to finish as high as you can. So looks like we have Joe Kern and Irv Johnson around on the pit road. Not sure what happened there.
Back it up and take a look at it there. Oh, it's crowded, to say the least.
So it kind of looks like that Ireland was coming out of his pit stall as Irv was going by. Kern was trying to get into his pit stop with 2 cars underneath him, unable to do so. So he had to do a little bit of maneuvering around Irv to try to get that way. And then, of course, Irv, I'm not sure where his pit stall is.
Yeah, my game crashed, so I can't see the wagons.
So, his pit stall was right in front of Joe Kern. So it took him a minute to, get situated and get back in there to where he pits. Now, fortunately, it's a big track. He'll be able to come in, get 4 tires, fuel, and be out coming.
And that's the glory with NASCAR race in 2003. That stuff wouldn't happen in iRacing. No collisions. It wouldn't matter. You wouldn't have to do it what the 077 did. He had to basically park it in the middle of pit lane. Yeah, I love NASCAR race in 2003 season just for that alone, that little weird stuff on pit lane. That doesn't happen in iRacing because there's no collisions, right? The 077 literally had to park it in the middle of pit lane and then try to get to his pit stall because there was 2 guys to his left. And that cost him a boatload of track position.
still, and we do believe that if he has somebody behind him, you know, he might still be able to stay up there and run up to the front.
Oh, the 84 of, that's, I was going to say Donnie. Donnie's in the 87. Ralph LeBlanc right there just took a hard turn to the right. I don't know, that was strange. But yeah, like you were saying about the 24 of Faulkner, if he's got the right number of cars around him, he might be all right.
Yep.
You need a few guys behind. Because we've seen like guys like Rodney Sullins. He's won races here with a torn up trunk lid like that, thinking, oh, wow, the aerodynamics are going to be garbage on a car like that. But if you've got somebody pushing, so what if the rear wing's all messed up? You're just using the car behind you.
Brad Faulkner was able to stay out and lead a lap. That's some bonus points for him. Hopefully he'll be able to keep going. Pace car makes the trip down pit road, where most of our Talladega series you'll see they start side by side. These guys start nose to tail. So Joseph Landy Pavillon led the most laps so far. He is going to be our control car out front. Scott Gilliman right behind him. Currently, we believe is the points leader. Stays up there where he is. He should take the championship as the green flag comes out.
Laps to go. Gilliman already going to be looking to the inside lane. Looks like Ken Huntsberry is going to go with him. And then Intimidator a little bit further back there. Going to have to try to close in to try to make that inside lane work. We'll see if Gilliman's going to be able to get clear. Don't believe he will. And so we're going to be side by side.
55 there of Hunksberry is right on his rear bumper, giving him a pretty decent push. Of course, Robert Spring pushing Pavillon on the high side. So it's just one of the guys, see, you look how, you know, the 15 there of Gilliman's a little bit higher up, trying to get into that middle lane, trying to keep Pavillon on the high side so maybe he can make up a little bit more ground. He's trying to get up there, lead this lap. And that's, Hunksberry's got to get in there and give him a little push. Not going to happen this time by. Robert Spring's giving Pavillon a little bit better of a push. He's going to lead that lap.
Now the third lane on the bottom starting to form as a result of Gilliman trying to do that. And now he's going to cut back down. Gilliman trying to kind of figure out how he wants to go about this. That's actually going to allow the 12, I believe that's DVD, up into the fray. He's now going to be pushing the 3. 003, I should say. 15 goes to cut that off. That's going to leave Huntsberry in an awkward spot. Very awkward spot. He's got nowhere to go now. And yep, there's that middle lane circle hole that you had mentioned pre-race. Falling back.
Ooh.
Is Huntsberry.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, Gilliman's trying to get back down there. Intimidator gave him a break. He had the opportunity. Now Gilliman goes to the high side.
Oh, wow, man, those are two very risky, I don't know if I call them blocks. He's just trying to get back in line, but the lines he was trying to get back in had a lot more speed than he did.
I think the risky part of that for him was trying to get in there, trying to get himself and the cars behind him in that middle lane by pushing Pavillon all the way up to the third lane. But where they kind of did that wrong and say you didn't stay right behind. Look at Pavillon, look at Spring, Ireland. They're nice and a nice formed line, and they were not doing that. But you look at the bottom down there, the number 8 of Rick K. Excuse me, the 008 of Rick K and Intimidator. They're getting a nice line formed down there. If they can keep doing that, and then that other line just kind of separates like they just did, they might still start making up some ground on that bottom.
They can try to stay formed up like that. They may have a chance. I mean, we're getting down there in laps now. Only 7 laps to go. My goodness, this race is going by quickly. I mean, it didn't help that I only got in here when I did. But now DVD's trying to make the middle work. And Joseph Landy Pavillon going up to the high side there and is actually running well high on even considering the middle groove. And you know what? Actually, that might be the better play because in a lot of the experience that I have at this track, if you want to make up ground in a hurry, generally that high side is where you want to be, the very top lane. The bottom lane, I feel like just loses too much momentum. But when you're able to get up to almost to the wall, you find something up there if you got enough cars. So I feel like Joseph is doing a great job of managing these lines at the moment, but you got some experienced guys, Robert Spring behind him and Garland Davis, and like you said, Ireland up there. And of course, we all know the 15 is fast, so wouldn't surprise me if they're able to maybe make something happen here in the final 5 laps. I think they're just trying to run out these laps for a little bit, and then we'll start seeing some moves. It's just going to matter of who's going to be the first to do it.
You see Pavlon, Spring pushing him, Ireland pushing Robert Spring, and Garland Davis pushing, Ireland. So they're doing that there. But like I said before, the Scott Gillen, he's just basically hanging up behind. He's not pushing Garland Davis at all because he doesn't need to. He's right there behind him. All he's got to do is stay with that group. The 3 or 4 cars in front of him, that using that little kind of light tap method will keep that line going all pretty good. And they're staying nice and tight with that bottom line. I keep saying this, but they're not forming up well enough to be able to make up the ground.
Larry D's trying it down there. The line is looking really good. Larry D was trying the bottom. Ooh, got one peeking. That's
DJ just had a wicked run because the 5 cars in front of him, they started bumping a little bit, and it just slowed down Gilliland just enough. So DJ decided, I'm going to go to the bottom, see if I can use take this momentum and do something with it. But unfortunately, as soon as you pull down there, it's just like pulling a chute on a parachute. You just kind of slow right down until somebody gets behind you and starts helping.
EBD's not really willing to help anyone so far. I'm watching that 12. He's going wherever everybody ain't. And now he's going up to the top side. And the 77 is coming forward here. I believe that's Lehman Davis, if I recall correctly.
Lennon.
Oh, Lennon. As you got one around on the backstretch. One was going airborne there. I think that was the 49.
Yellow flag is up. This might be it.
This might be it. 74 is trying. Ireland going to be staying committed to the 68. And we got a big one here on the bottom. Oh, here we go. 3 wide.
Spring didn't get to the bottom quick enough. He's not going to have the help he needs. Garland Davis is not going to be able to push him. Look at Pavlon. What a move he made there.
Big block.
Yes.
Big block.
Wow.
Wise block, too. I mean,
whoa.
So it might be the end of the race there. If it does, it's Pavlon, DJ, and Mike Ireland third.
We'll find what happened here.
Oh no, they're wrecking down the backstretch. Under caution. Not good. I'm not really sure what happened. There's somebody too soon or what happened with on the backstretch there, slowing down for the caution. They started wrecking.
Just looking at what caused the caution there. Jim Williams got hit by the 077, who appears to have been caught out by the tight condition there on the bottom lane and unfortunately pushed up into him.
It's one thing about this track that I've always felt. That bottom lane, especially that exit of 2, is so tight coming off the corner, and it's hard to keep the momentum up when you have to turn.
Take a
drink.
Some of these guys, I'm thinking like they would need repairs, but I can't see anybody coming to the pit lane now.
No, they just got to get themselves back in the position they're supposed to be in. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the end of the race. Pavlon, like I said, first, DJ second, Mike Ireland third.
You got 20 and the 077 just came down pit road.
Like the 077 may have claimed that one.
Yeah. So that might be a claim.
Got 2 to go right now. Lights are still on the pace car, so. Sorry, I had to take a drink.
All good. As always, we're coming back around here into the white flag, which will signify the final lap. Currently, Joseph Landy Pavlon in first place. The race isn't over yet.
Somebody could brake.
Yep.
We run the gas.
I've accidentally put like the checkered flag on the car before, and then run out of gas. Like, oh man, you got to wait till it's actually over. And some guys get confused and quit. I think that happened last week too, or a couple weeks ago. I think it was Greg Lovell.
He had that. Yep, I remember that. I believe
he left, and I'm like, well, where'd Greg go? He's in third place, and he's like ended up in 20th because he thought the race was over, but they still had one lap to go.
Yeah, I remember that happening. I think it was, oh gosh, I want to say Javier Negron, but I'm not sure. I had that happen. They had an incident, and they spun out, and they nope, all right, whatever, I'm done, and they would have finished a lot better had they just done the last lap.
Yeah, had you just finished the race.
What a dominating performance tonight by Joseph Landy Pavillon, leading 22 laps. It's going to be 23 when he comes this time by. Brad Fokker, the only other car to lead a lap tonight. So played that high line to perfection. Just the guys, everybody was behind him, just kept pushing him, and they were running nice and tight up there. That low line could never seem to form up enough to make a charge up there, and he just led the whole thing, even retained the lead underneath the caution, that one caution that we had earlier. So got a Lexus, a Chevy Camaro, and a Ford Mustang finishing your top three.
Lap number 25 begins shortly. Thanks again to Open Speedway for having us in here tonight to do the doubleheader, Monday Madness for June.
Wouldn't you have been, worried a little bit if they decided to put the pace car lights out and then just said, go?
Yeah.
Still got a ways to go, though, before we can get to the to see who's going to win this, because, something could happen. I've actually had a race where I was leading the race, caution flag came out. I went down the backstress, I shifted from fourth gear to third gear, and my engine blew up. And it ended up breaking a header. So anything is possible. Avalon is running around in third gear. GJ is running around in second gear. Mike Ireland is running around in first gear. So
I'm trying to think what I do on Talladega. I think it's third, because you save a little more gas too, being in a higher gear, because you got a lower RPM, right?
Yeah, if you put it in third gear, your engine doesn't cool up as much, and you save fuel. And one's coming around. Now we got to make it interesting, right? Here we come around to turn 3. They're coming to the checkered flag.
Here's an interesting fact. The two inverse numbers of each other are finishing first and second.
That is true. Yeah, we got to have Andrew in here more often. He sees things in a different perspective.
Somebody posted something online about the World Cup soccer. They said if Sweden plays Denmark, the ticker at the top of the screen will say Sweden, and the unused letters will spell Denmark. So SWE, and then DEN of Sweden. And I'm like, what? Like, who sees that? It was crazy. I'm like, yeah, cool, it says Sweden. And then they're like, yeah, and then the unused letters spell Denmark. And I'm like, so if Sweden plays Denmark, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. And check it out, the number 68 of JLP.
The tank to win. DJ second. Third, Mike Island.
Yep.
Youngsberry kind of hung in there and finishing in the fourth position. Robert Spring doesn't run here all the time. Decided to come over here tonight just to have a little bit of fun. Finishes fifth. Scott Gilliland is gonna finish in the sixth position. I believe that's going to be probably enough, as long as no penalties are handed out, for him to be able to take the championship. I would assume. I'm only speculating, not 100% sure.
He's taking the short way back to the start-finish line.
He doesn't want to drive all the way around. He wants to get up here and do his interview,
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't do one like Nick Gunther, we're good.
Yeah.
Got a lot of comments about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dare ask.
Oh, he got on there, he finished third, and he got on there, he goes, let's make this click, I'm not happy.
Yeah. He's always a good interview, though, man, because he'll tell you.
Yeah. Fine.
There's a few of those guys I can think of.
Yeah. Alex Moe was another one. Denny Carroll. All good interviews.
Trying to find
All good interviews because they're all good drivers and they all want to win.
And they know what they're capable of, and
Yeah.
you know when things don't go their way, even if the result is good, things don't go their way, and it could have been better. Well, they'll let you know about it. But JLP, big win there.
Yeah. Awesome race too.
All
Too
right,
bad
well,
the yellow came out late, but you know what? That turns into a quick little shootout situation, so that's always fun to watch those transpire.
So let's start off with the interviews, and as always, Andrew, I'll let you take care of this. But Mike Island, you got Rod, Blaine, and Andrew live in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, take it away, Andrew.
P3, my man, a great finish for you. Seemed like you were keeping it pretty steady there. And then you got, it looked like coming to the check or the yellow flag, you were committed to the 68. Just hoping to get him clear and then maybe go for it yourself. What was the mentality?
Yeah, it would happen so fast there. Yeah, that the one guy slowed down, so I had to just follow the guy who kept the pedal to the middle.
And that's fair. And P3, I think anytime on a super speedway where it's a little bit of a crapshoot, you got yourself a great finish there. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah, it might have been a boring race because the high line was the fast line, but I'm at the end there, it might have dropped down. At the end, I would have dropped down, but I knew if you would have dropped down sooner, the way that high line was, you would have just lost positions doing it too early.
That's fair there, but still very, very well done. I guess I can't think of too much else. You guys got anything?
Yeah, sure. I always race with Mike on Wednesday nights. What gets you over here tonight? Racing on a fixed setup. You kind of like the open setup stuff with us. How did you feel about the setup that they had here tonight, and would you have made any changes?
Oh, I just went with it, and it was fine. It was solid, So, yeah, I do like a variety of racing. What's fun here is you get all these drivers, which is a real good turnout.
I see this is going to be, your fourth race of the season. You only ran one night, so you're not a constant racer over here. Just kind of show up and see if you can steal a few wins away from them.
I don't even really care if I win or not. I try to win, but I try just to race clean and, have a good time. Even like that first race, I was tried the high line, but I was losing positions, just to do a change up, but.
And always Blaine, there he is. You got a question for Mike?
I've always got questions.
Yes, you do.
Oh man, I don't know. Do you prefer the double header races, or would you rather run like a full-blown 66, 76 lap race at Talladega, or do you like these little kind of half races?
Boy, I don't know. I guess these are good if you get wrecked, like the first race, I got wrecked, so it was nice to have a second chance because I didn't have a chance the first one after I got hit pitting. So, yeah, there's advantages to both ways.
Well, there you go. Finishing third tonight, Mike Ireland will give you a chance to thank anybody and everybody you would like to. The floor is yours.
Thanks to Open Speedway for hosting this and everything. Yeah, I'm sort of I like road courses and short tracks, so but I don't.
They always knew there was something wrong with them.
Yeah, that's right. But but they get a good turnout here, so that's what makes it really nice. And they're pretty good drivers too, and they're entertaining. So, yep, I had a good time.
Well, there you go. Congratulations on finishing third tonight, and probably see you Wednesday. So, good job, bud.
You bet. Thank you,
sir. Okay, so I'm looking for Daryl. I can't seem to find Daryl in the team speak, so I think he
has disconnected.
Has disconnected. So guess what? We get to go to the guy that usually I say I can't can't pronounce his name because it was one time over Maverick. He was like, "You never talk about me. Wine, 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 wine." And I was like, all right. So we said we wouldn't talk to his name. Oh, by the way, hey, Joseph, land your pad on. You got Rod, Blaine, and Andrew in the booth. You got a caution.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oh, you stunk up that second show, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I was one caution lap away from having a perfect race. I mean, I pretty much checked all the boxes tonight.
There you go. So, Andrew, I'm going to let Andrew do a little bit of interview with you, and then we'll catch up with you on the end of that.
Sure thing.
Hey, Joseph, Andrew. I guess my main question, because I only saw half that race, but especially in the second run after that caution, you were obviously running that middle to even kind of the higher line. I guess my question is, were you thinking of just trying to cut off any chance of anyone getting to the outside of you? I know people are trying to make the low lane work, but that high lane can get some more momentum. Was that the mentality?
That's kind of what it was. I think the outside line was pretty much my friend. The middle groove worked as well, but it seemed like the bottom line needed a lot of muscle to match with the top line. And with Open Speedway's no low lining rule, being put into play, it does make me have to get a little bit creative. I mean, of course, with anybody else that races OSW. So, it's a learned technique around here, and I would say that I was just comfortable up there too. I didn't feel like I was under too much pressure until the closing laps. That's when everyone started, peeking out a little bit, and I was like kind of already by then really prepared for the moment. And by then, Gilman on one side, Ireland on another. Both of the Johnstons were right there beside me, and at that point I was thinking, okay, they're gonna make their move. And by the time that was about to happen, there was a wreck brought the yellow, and there was a race to the line, and somehow I held on. It was close, but they really started having it in for me until that last crash, and it makes me wonder what would have happened, because it was some fun racing tonight. I had a good time today.
Because you were running that high line the whole entire time, and then low lining allowed. But that's the cool thing about Talladega. You can get up there and everybody just followed you.
Yeah, and sometimes just because you're running that line, and to be honest, I was merely doing that in the early stages of the race because of the pit stop coming up ahead. There was at least one stop that was bound to happen. Granted, it took place under yellow, but I was prepared to just ride out the laps until the green flag stops, or whenever they were going to come, whether the green or yellow. They ended up being under the yellow. And at the second half of the race, I thought, okay, everyone's going to get a little more aggressive, and they did, but I stayed calm and did everything I needed to do.
So, very cool, though. Yeah, like I said, dominated that race. Now, you haven't been racing over to Maverick. Vacation, I think it was, or something. Maverick is off this Tuesday, so will we see you next Tuesday at Maverick?
Yes, I'll be there. I'm back in town. I was going to arrive a little earlier, but with both places I'm flying to and from being host cities of the FIFA World Cup, I was just... The airfare was just so incredibly expensive. If you weren't planning... if you're trying to fly out tomorrow, don't even bother. It's going to be like a $700 experience. So I had to plan out a little bit later, and I was trying to get back for the Chicagoland race, but that just wasn't meant to be. So I'll start on clean slate at Daytona, just like the start of the season.
There you go. All right, Blaine, you got any more questions?
I think I'm good to go. I mean, I always love watching this stuff, and then you watch so much Talladega, and then just basically watch you guys run the wall the whole time. It's kind of crazy. So I keep going back to that low line thing. It's a neat rule, and then here the way you can get around it really does lead to different style of racing, and then of course you've got to change your strategy at the end when the accident happened, and it's like, okay, we got to scramble now and figure out how to block these guys. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. It's an awesome race, and pit stops were fun to watch. There was some shenanigans. You didn't get caught in any of it, but there was some pretty interesting things happening on pit road. It gets pretty busy down there.
Oh yeah, that's where all the hairy stuff happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys had to like park it and wait and then back up, turn around, do 3-point turns. It's like that stuff don't happen in iRacing. You got to drive the car on the pits here.
Right. You have to work with the physical parameters of the other cars around you. That's one thing I always commend NR 2003 for.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you never get the collisions are always on. They don't. Cars aren't like invisible or zero collisions. Like you gotta really be careful the entire race. So, and especially like there was a couple of log jams down there. It was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
Guys try to sort it out without wrecking each other.
Yeah, that's racing for you. You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah. And that's why I love it.
All right. Well, congratulations on your win tonight, and we'll give you a chance to thank anybody and everybody you would like to. So the floor is yours.
I just want to thank everyone in my close circle for knowing that I'm unavailable at nights because I'm racing all the time whenever I'm home. So yeah, I want to thank Salma JLP Racing, Florida Atlantic University, and Lexus, Coca-Cola for giving me this ride, and America 250 next week.
That's the stuff.
Okay, well, congratulations on the win, bud. We'll see you in a couple weeks, or about a week or so.
Yep, I'll see you in a week from tomorrow.
Thanks, Joseph. Congratulations. He's gone.
He's gone. So let's
get out of my room.
I believe. Well, we'll bring him up here and we'll find out.
Okay, we're looking for like
Scott Gillimon. You got Rod, Blaine, Andrew live in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you.
Okay, so I don't know, but my math, which is never really the right math, but the way you ran tonight, I'm assuming the championship must have fallen your way.
That's what it sounds like. Everybody was giving me the thumbs up. I did a big burnout, so I'm going to take it. Say thank you.
Very, very cool. So, and I know that you came in here 12 ahead of Brian Wolf. Brian did not have a very good night tonight. Of course, Herb Johnson won the first race tonight, but you finishing right there behind him in second, obviously, kept you right there. So, tell us a little bit more about, your night, your fight for the evening, and, how you got where you are.
Well, that first race, I really just focused on saving tires. I knew everybody was going to run it as hard as they could, and sure enough, everybody just started drifting up just a little bit, and I just started picking off one at a time, got it back up to second. I had the lead there for a bit, but there was just that draft, just no low line rule, so it was just too much to overcome, so I got shuffled back a little bit there. Got back up to second, so that was good. The second race, I was just trying to mind my business there. I wasn't trying to bump draft too much. I was just staying in that fast line. We got that restart. I tried to pop out and take the lead there. That didn't work out so good. Got shuffled back a little bit, but still held on for a good finish and was enough to hold on for the championship.
That's very cool. Andrew, do you have any questions for Scott?
I guess just did the title fight go into how you raced at the second race? Maybe playing it a little bit more conservative than you normally might.
Oh, absolutely. I was just most of the race there, I was just hanging on to that fast line in the middle outside there, and I was trying not to bump draft just to hope there would be no bumper grab or anything. Just minding my business, just staying in line. On that restart there, I really wanted to get out there and at least get the 5 bonus points, but just that outside line was just too much to overcome. So I was lucky to get back up in the outside line again.
Totally fair, man. And 6th place in the second race, second for race number 1. Yeah, definitely. I would say more than enough. More than earned too. Really well done on the championship, my man. Congrats.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Blaine, you got a chance to say anything to Scott?
I'm going back in time. How long have you been playing this thing?
I think I got the game in 2006 or 2007.
Nice.
So I've been running for about 20 years.
Perfect. Yep. Bought it in 2003. But yeah, that's cool, man. There's so many different. I always like to ask that question just because there's so many different age ranges or just people finding the game at different times. So you can kind of see, like, I just love the fact, I say it all the time, it's my favorite game. I just bought a brand new computer, like in February. First thing I got to do, NASCAR 2003 season. Got to figure out how to get it in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All the new games are too easy. I just fire up Steam, click install, walk away for 5 minutes. This thing, I like it. It's going to take me half an hour to get it working. And it doesn't matter if it only maxes out at 140 frames per second or whatever it does. It's got a priority number one. Every time people ask me what my favorite game is, I kind of forget about NASCAR sometimes just because it's there all the time.
Oh yeah, I've been playing. I mean, this version of the game I've been playing for the 20 years. But I played the very first version I had was NASCAR Racing 2. So I've been playing since '96 on the Papyrus games. So
yep,
it's good fun.
Yeah, and I think what is it? I have IndyCar Racing, which is '93, I think '94. Got the box right here. I can't see the date on it. You can still get boxes. You get game boxes now, and they have nothing inside them. What's the year on this? Oh, come on. There's got to be a number on here somewhere. Got to read the fine print. But either way, Papyrus is awesome. And yeah, I've never had a chance to talk to you before, so then that's when I start going back into the nostalgia stuff and see, like, you know, Rod, you got a couple versions of NASCAR 2003, I think.
I have NASCAR 1, NASCAR 2, NASCAR 3, NASCAR 4, 99, all the updates for 99, Grand Prix Legends, IndyCar Racing 2, 2002, 2003, all not that far away from me right now as we talk.
That's cool. Yeah, somehow I ended up with 2 CD-ROMs of this. I don't know, I must have just found it at a convenience store. I don't know where I would even found it, because I know I bought one, and then I don't know how I came across the second version. Somebody might have bought it for me for a birthday or something, just so I had a backup, because I played the other one so much. But still playing it now, and now it's free.
I pre-ordered two copies, so.
Oh, you don't have one still sealed, do you?
No.
Okay.
No, I sold that second copy a long time ago when I had a chance to make some really good money. But anyways, congratulations out on your championship. We'll give you a chance to, give us some shout outs there to anybody and everybody that's helped you out. So the floor is yours.
Well, thanks, guys. Just yet again, they say thanks to Ralph and the whole Open Speedway admin team. Without them, we wouldn't have a good place to race here. Thanks to you guys for streaming it out there for everybody to see. And thanks to all my competitors there for just having nice, clean racing and having a good time. Can't ask for anything more.
There you go. Nice, short, and sweet. And got everybody in there. So good job, buddy. Congratulations on your championship. Go out there, crack a beer, and enjoy. Have a good time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, there we go.
There it is. Haven't talked to him before. Yeah, it's always my go-to thing. How long you been playing? Blah, 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 blah. Didn't get to the steering wheel stuff, but we'll do that next time.
Yeah. We don't want to discuss steering wheels with Andrew because we know he doesn't use one.
Probably never will.
No, why bother, right? I mean, you're good. It's a game pad, right?
Do very well with a game pad.
Yeah. Why would you
do my
change
best whenever I get out there still.
You'd switch to a wheel and you'd be pure garbage. You'd be like,
Probably.
You're running it for a decade on a gamepad, and then why change? I changed because I had a really old joystick that really wasn't working properly, and went to the wheel. But yeah, gamepad's cool.
I'm almost 20 years on this steering wheel that I have now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Works, it works.
Very, very highly customized.
Very highly customized, yeah.
Because all Rod's pedals need to be hand controls. But either way, huge thanks go out to Open Speedway, of course, for them, contacting us to broadcast their Monday Madness at the end of every month. Last Monday of every month, we're going to be here. So guess what? July's coming up, and July will come to an end. And then that final week, we will be here again live covering the doubleheader, the championship race for July. And then, obviously this June one was pretty good. Always good. Good turnout. We had 20, 25 in that race there. And who what was the first count? Probably 25 in the first race too. But
Yeah.
yeah, solid field for both races, both great races. Of course, TarnationTV.com. Make sure you also check out Andrew over there at Top Dragster on YouTube, Top Dragster 2117. Thank you very much, Andrew, for coming in this evening to assist.
It was a pleasure, guys. And thanks for the invite. I missed you guys. This was fun. Albeit, despite my technical issues, which apologies for that, but we got in there, made it work, and had a good time.
Go check out Top Dragster tomorrow. It's going to be hobo racing at Sonoma, so that'll be a good one to watch.
Sir.
Yeah, that's it, man. Do it up. Yeah, thanks again, everybody. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks to the Open Speedway. Thanks, of course, to everybody watching on YouTube, commenting on the video, and of course to the drivers, because we can't do this without the drivers, especially when this many people are showing up. This is a late league too on a Monday night, and that's a pretty good turnout for being such a late race. But yeah, everybody who comments in the YouTube, we got Robert Spring in there, Benjamin Snyder, Brian Wolf, a bunch of different guys, the regulars. Thanks, guys. Cheers, hats off, whatever you want to say. But anyhow, yeah, this week we do not have a race at Maverick. We will be back here on Thursday with Rolling Thunder Gaming's Talladega Challenge. All-Star Racing starting back up in a couple weeks on the Saturdays, so for now Saturdays are free as well. But as always, on behalf of Rod Weston and Andrew Miller, my name is Blaine Donlin, and of course, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.